Hi there. It's been a while since I've had time to sit down and make one of these videos ever since the Maryland court system reopened itself to the public and began hearing family law cases again. Our schedules as practitioners have been impacted. Certain hearings are all jammed together in the fall of 2020. Many other hearings have been kicked down the road into 2021. And on top of that, we have lots of new questions from new and old clients about the impact of long-term remote schooling on their agreement or their order. So lots of things to talk about, and one of the major things, the major new developments, is that the court system, Maryland court system, has embraced the use of remote hearings. The thinking being that the court system doesn't want a ton of people in its buildings, in lobbies, in courtrooms, waiting for hearings because of the additional risk of exposure to the COVID-19 virus. So the Maryland court system is trying to keep the number of people in their buildings as low as possible. So they're doing a couple of things, including staggering hearings rather than everyone show up at 8 o'clock, schedule 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. So you have less people in the building in the morning, and as well, they are allowing many hearings, or requiring many hearings to be conducted remotely in a similar setup that I'm making this video now. And that has led to kind of a very rapid change in the practice. I recently gave a similar talk to the Howard County Inns of Court group, and that is going to be my top 5 tips for how to get ready for a remote hearing. Now these are going to be the very basic tips, and it's for this list is kind of for anyone that is working with an attorney or an attorney that has a remote hearing coming up. And this is literally just to get you in the door. This is not how to conduct a hearing, but just kind of like the basics before it starts. And so I think the first thing you have to think about, either way, as a client or as a litigant in one of these cases, is whomever is going to testify or participate in the case, whether it be a client or a witness, has to have consistent access to high quality internet. Now some of us may take that for granted. I know a lot of us are glued to our phones, etc. But if you have to sit down and testify clearly to a judge or magistrate or finder of fact, you can't have your internet signal going in and out. You can't have lags. You can't have the screen kind of pixelating and breaking up. And you know, depending on where someone lives, if they're in an area that just doesn't have great internet, or if they're insisting on using their Wi-Fi and they're at the opposite end of their house, the signal could be spotty. You can't afford to lose your case over a spotty signal. So as basic as that sounds, I know people have had that problem. So you need to ensure that anyone involved in your case has access to high quality internet. The second thing that's very basic and along those lines is they need to have a device that's going to run the software, and they have to have the software. I've run into situations where people are trying to download the software, whether it's Government Zoom, whether it's Citrix, whether it's GoToMeeting, whatever the case may be, 2 minutes before the hearing's supposed to start. And of course, inevitably, there's some add-on, there's an app, they can't pay for things. If you don't have the platform, if you don't have a device to participate remotely, you can't testify. And so, again, this seems very basic, but it's a problem that I've seen over and over and over again. So, consistent internet access, you got to have a device that works, and 2B, you should install the platform that is being required to use in advance. So, have it on your phone, have it on your laptop, have it on your computer, well before the time of the hearing, so in case you have some installation problems, you can address them in advance. Okay, practice. Just like you would meet with your attorney, or as an attorney you'd meet with your client and practice your testimony, you ask the questions, make sure you understand what the answers are going to be, you have to do this with remote hearings. The remote hearings adds a few new wrinkles to this. You want to see what your client or your witness, where they want to sit, where they want to present. You need to consider the background environment. If if my wall had a giant like pot leaf poster, my client, my attorney, who's ever presenting me, would want to know that and be able to say, you need to take that down before you testify in front of a judge. Your client or witness may think that they can testify from bed, the couch, the living room. They need to have a quiet, appropriate setting. There's a certain amount of respect and decorum that the judges and magistrates are still going to require, and it's going to go to the credibility of your client or your witness. You need to practice going through your exhibits, whether that's going to be on whether you're going to share your screen or your client or you and your client are going to work out an arrangement where they know what's coming. You need to do this remotely so that you understand what your presentation to the court is going to look like. One of the big ones out there is your clients or your witness have to understand that their face is right on the screen to the judge or the magistrate. They have to control their reactions, their behavior on camera. They have to be, their appearance needs to be one that they're taking this matter seriously and respectful. Because you would not believe the very fast set of war stories that judges and magistrates have about people that don't understand that they're always on camera. That if they're rolling their eyes or if they're, mouthing obscenities about the other litigant in their case, the judge or the magistrate can see that, and that's going to hurt your case. And the last one that I would say is my big one. If you have a client or a witness that you've done these things or tried to do these things and it didn't work, don't leave it up to them day of. Bring them into your office, make the arrangements for them. You cannot afford to to turn on your remote hearing. You're not walking into a courtroom anymore. To turn on your remote hearing and have to tell the judge, oh, my witness isn't ready, my client's not ready, they're having technical difficulties, whatever the case may be. The judge or the magistrate has other cases besides yours. You're either going to get bumped to the end of the line, your matter may not be heard, there can be significant consequences. So none of these things are legal, but they're all important, and it's taking the same kind of presentation concerns that you might have in the courtroom and then thinking about them in the new remote world. So if you or anyone you know has questions about this sort of thing, is facing a remote hearing or is wondering what their lawyer is doing about having a remote court hearing, don't hesitate to contact me or my law firm, Weinberg Schwartz, at 410-997-0203. My information is in the bio. My bio, I guess, is in the information of this video below. It's fun to make one of these again. I hope to talk to you all soon. If you like this video, if you thought that it was helpful or informative, please like it, please comment on it, please share it with your friends. Thank you very much.